What up, is Marcus Dynasty Dads? We have 3 buys, 3 sells, running backs. Now, running backs are the most important position in 1QB leagues, but in Superflex leagues, they are extremely important as well. They are sometimes the make or break. So we're going to go through some buys right off the bat. These are running backs between 15 and 30. Actually, 15 and number 40. I don't understand a couple of rankings here for some of these players. And so the first one we're going to talk about is Javonte Williams. He's number 15 overall. We have to put a little asterisk next to his name because he is hurt. He has an ACL injury, but I think it's an MCL meniscus. He has the classic J.K. Dobbins type of injury that's going to take potentially his 2023 season away. So he's 23 years old. Know that we could be talking about him being 24 going into next season, fully healthy, ready to go. And when we look at some of the other running backs like J.K. Dobbins, who's only a couple spots below him and he has not even produced yet, Javonte at number 15, I feel like his floor is a couple spots lower, but realistically his ceiling is if he gets healthy, he could be into that Saquon-ish, that 5, 6, 7. Like you could even get him into that. Like he has the attributes. We saw his pass receiving ability at North Carolina at a peak, but even in Denver, you saw the pass receiving capabilities out of Javonte. So I do really like Javonte, and him being ranked 15th here, I think is a disservice to him. And he is right now going to be the only running back there. They have Samaje Perine, but realistically, this is his team going forward. And with his second round draft capital, in the NFL, I still feel like there is better days ahead for Javonte here. The next one is DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift, I know he goes to Philadelphia, but his ranking is number 20. He's 24.3 years old. He's had 15 in his points per game, 8 and 15. So even if you're talking about an RB2, which, he's produced at points per game, which is, again, he's been hurt, but he's been producing at a 15 or better, and you're putting him at 20, there's just some players that I don't understand the gap between him and some other players. And so DeAndre Swift here is another buy for me at 24.3 years old. Yes, you have Jalen Hurts there, which is going to be a little bit of a bump for him, or a little bit of a bump down probably for him, but they have Rashad Penny, who's getting older, has again, he's been injury prone. He's had the ACL injury. He had a hard time recovering from that. And then he has now the broken leg. And so that has been a big issue. So just again, a lot of problems with Rashad Penny. You do have Kenneth Gainwell in the backfield, but you just know that there has been, there's a huge opportunity here for DeAndre Swift to bump himself back into the top 10 like that. The third one is Alexander Mattison. He's number 39 ranked right now, and he's kind of been very volatile lately, depending on the rumors of Dalvin Cook. And he's 24.9 years old. But let's just put in a world that either Dalvin Cook gets hurt because he's getting older or moves on. Or the Vikings move on with him, which I still think is a 65% chance that the Vikings move on from him. If we said that 65% chance happens before the season, Alexander Mattison will not be ranked 39th. He'll be ranked 23rd. And so you are getting a huge discount right now. And I would definitely make the gamble. 65-70% chance that I still think Dalvin Cook is gone. I'm making the gamble for Alexander Mattison. I am making the gamble for Dwayne McBride in rookie drafts because I do believe that this is either Dalvin Cook is gone by the season starts. There's a June 1st trade, the salary cap potential discount. So that's coming up here in a couple of weeks. So just know that there is a discount for the Vikings. There's reasons for them to wait till June 1st. But there's not really reasons for you to wait till June 1st. You need to make this trade before June 1st. Sell. Now, these are going to be top 10 running backs to sell, which is hard to do. Or not hard to do. Hard to say. Because Jonathan Taylor is my first sell. Number 2 overall, ahead of Breece Hall. I'd rather have Breece Hall over Jonathan Taylor. Number 1, of course, is Bijan Robinson. He's 24 years old. Jonathan Taylor had some different injuries, concerns. But I see him more as this really good RB 5 to 10, between 5 and 10. I don't know if I can necessarily see him being that top elite talent. I still think you're going to have some of these PPR backs scoot up in there. I think Breece Hall, if he's healthy, Bijan Robinson, I think they're going to take over this mantle. And if you can get top 2 for Jonathan Taylor, I would rather take a younger player plus some picks or a younger running back and wide receiver combo for Jonathan Taylor here. And then the next one is going to be Josh Jacobs. I've I've been on this kind of bandwagon since the season has ended. He was number 3 overall last year, but he's 25.2. Yes, he's been a stud RB1 for his entire career, basically, but he's on the franchise tag. That team, I just don't think is going to be good. And when we look at running backs, we want running backs on good teams. Just like how Anthony Richardson, I think, is actually potentially a detriment to Jonathan Taylor. I mean, I think that Anthony Richardson might steal some goal line touchdowns just like Jalen Hurts does. Josh Jacobs could have some issues just with a poor offense. I just think the offense is not going to be good there. And so maybe we'll see, but they're going to be playing some teams that are going to be a lot better than him. And I could easily see them just saying, you know what? We're not going to re-sign Josh Jacobs. And so dynasty-wise, where does that put him? That puts him at 26 years old next season in a probably not a great situation. It puts him in a situation where he might be an RBBC, running back by committee. The last one is the toughest one because he had such a good season. Number 8 last year. He's 26 years old, which seems surprisingly, but it's Tony Pollard. Which, Tony Pollard, number 10, Alexander Madison, number 39. I see them as a lot I'm not saying they're the same thing. I'm just saying that I see Tony Pollard at RB 18 and I see Madison at 25. Like that's a lot closer than their 29 spots in between them. And Tony Pollard, there is a lot of things that he could have a great year. But again, long-term wise, I don't think I see him as being the long-term play here. Again, maybe a year and a half, but we haven't even seen him be the bell cow without Zeke there. And so that's another concern. As we haven't even seen Tony Pollard do it. We've seen him play this kind of secondary role. There are a lot of running backs that don't do well with 60-70% of the touches. They do better in a role where they are the B to the alpha. And so we'll just see what Tony Pollard does here. But at 26 years old, I'm rather going for, again, another running back that is younger. I mean, yes, you're going to get Devin Achane is not nearly ranked as high as Tony Pollard, but give me a Devin Achane plus some draft capital or a wide receiver to cover this Tony Pollard gap here. So again, these are 3 buys, 3 sells for running backs. We're going to do some more. Let me know what position you want next. Peace out. Have a good weekend, guys.